Ever wondered why that surge of motivation after watching an inspiring video seems to vanish within no time? It's a conundrum that many of us have grappled with. One moment, we're on top of the world, ready to conquer our dreams, and the next, we're back to our old habits, that newfound zest nowhere to be found. This is the enigma of fleeting motivation, a phenomenon as perplexing as it is common. And to unravel this mystery, we need to delve into the very essence of motivation. You see, motivation is not a constant entity, it's a spark, a flicker, easily ignited but equally quick to extinguish. It's like a firework that lights up the sky for a moment only to fade away into the darkness. This is because, more often than not, the motivation we derive from external sources, such as motivational videos or speeches, is temporary. It's an adrenaline rush, a temporary high that makes us feel invincible in the moment. But as the effect wears off, so does the motivation. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't to say that external motivation is bad or ineffective. On the contrary, it can serve as a powerful catalyst, a kickstart to get us moving. But the key lies in understanding that this is just the beginning, the spark to ignite the flame. To keep the fire burning, we need something more substantial, something more enduring. This brings us to the concept of internal motivation, the fuel that keeps the flame alive. Unlike its external counterpart, internal motivation comes from within us. It's driven by our values, our passions, our desires. It's not dependent on the thrill of the moment, but on the deep-seated belief in our goals and the satisfaction derived from pursuing them. Understanding this ebb and flow of motivation is the first step towards sustained self-improvement. It's about recognizing that while the spark may come from outside, the fuel to keep it burning must come from within. And once we grasp this concept, we're well on our way to turning fleeting motivation into enduring enthusiasm. Why does motivation fade so quickly? The answer lies in our minds. Our brains are intricate and complex, and they play a significant role in the way we perceive and respond to motivational content. One of the key players in this process is dopamine, often referred to as the reward chemical. When we watch a motivational video or hear an inspiring quote, our brain releases dopamine, giving us a rush of positive emotions and a burst of motivation. However, this euphoria is temporary. Once the dopamine release subsides, so does the motivation. This is akin to a sugar rush, intense but fleeting. Then, there's the instant gratification monkey. This term, coined by blogger Tim Urban, describes our inclination towards immediate reward over long-term benefits. We're more likely to watch an inspiring video or read a motivational quote than to take actual steps towards our goals, because the former provides immediate satisfaction, while the latter requires effort and patience. Moreover, we often fall into the comfort zone trap. Our brains are wired to keep us safe and comfortable, and venturing out of our comfort zones can be perceived as a threat. This is why, despite feeling motivated, we often revert back to our old habits and routines. Finally, let's talk about cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort we experience when we hold two contradictory beliefs, values, or attitudes. When we watch a motivational video, we're inspired to change, but this change often contradicts our existing beliefs or habits. Our minds, disliking this discomfort, try to resolve the dissonance, and we end up rationalizing our inaction or reverting back to our old ways. So, you see, motivation isn't a one-time shot, it's a complex interplay of various psychological factors. But understanding these factors can empower us to better manage our motivation. By recognizing the role of dopamine, by challenging the instant gratification monkey, by stepping out of our comfort zones, and by navigating cognitive dissonance, we can turn fleeting motivation into sustained action. Sustaining motivation is a mental game, and knowing the rules can help us play better. Why do we feel an immediate urge to change after watching a motivational video, yet fail to act on it? It's a question that stumps many, but the answer lies in understanding the illusion of change. In the captivating world of motivational videos, we often find ourselves entranced by the stirring words, the dramatic music, the compelling stories. These elements work together to create a powerful emotional response, a surge of inspiration that makes us feel ready to conquer the world. But here's the catch: feeling inspired is not the same as taking action. Think of it as standing at the edge of a cliff, ready to leap into the unknown. The motivational video is the gust of wind at your back, urging you forward. But the leap, that's all you. The wind can't make the jump for you. And this is where the illusion of change comes into play. We often mistake the initial rush of inspiration for actual change. We feel different, so we think we are different. But change isn't a fleeting feeling, it's a commitment to action, a series of steps taken consistently over time, regardless of how inspired we feel. The reality is, watching a motivational video can give you the illusion of change, but it can't give you the reality of change. That's something only you can do. True change isn't about feeling inspired, it's about acting despite the lack of inspiration. So how can we transform temporary motivation into a lasting drive? Let's dive into it. Firstly, it's essential to set achievable goals. It's like mapping out a journey. You don't just hop in a car without knowing where you're going, right? Similarly, in life, we need to have a clear idea of our destination. But remember, the goals should be realistic and attainable. Overly ambitious goals can lead to frustration and burnout, draining your motivation. Secondly, embrace the process over the end result. It's easy to get caught up in the vision of our future success, but the journey to that success is just as important. The growth we experience, the lessons we learn, and the resilience we build along the way are equally significant. So, savor the process, celebrate small victories, and learn from the setbacks. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, understand the power of consistency and discipline over motivation. Motivation is a fickle friend, it comes and goes, but discipline, that's a loyal companion. It's there with you, day in, day out, pushing you to stick to your routine, to keep going even when the excitement fades. By developing a discipline, you create habits, and habits once formed are hard to break. They become a part of your daily life, driving you towards your goals without needing that initial spark of motivation. Remember, motivation gets you started, but habit keeps you going. So let's keep going, shall we?